Sengoku Dynasty. This game has potential. I actually enjoy playing and wish the studio the best. However, a lot of things are little optimized or buggy. For example, drop a throat and food doesn't respawn after restarting, and hours in game, a common completely saving measure in many games. While travel as a benefit, fulfilling memory, I understand not implementing it because of its plenty of making a garbage collector, but I suspect rush to core features is preserved in other parts of the game as well. The game right now is okay, and coming from an B as a modern and almost lifelong player, I seriously hope these guys succeed with this title so that it doesn't stay this mediocre. The roadmap addresses some shortcomings of the game as it is. However, I had to compare this game to Bannerlord while it was still in early access. As a 1.0 release, this is a kind of lacking. What it does well. These titles bring some pretty cool things to the table, but nothing industry pioneering. This is essentially a thematically consistent version of Conan Exiles, with more extensive village management and more cookie-cutter buildings. It brings the quintessential single-player experience, something always unlike games like. I like this over Conan Exiles for exactly this reason. For the cookie-cutter buildings reduces complexity while also bringing a nice custom experience to gameplay. Combat is somewhat satisfying. It mixes a lot of good things from different games, but is fundamentally almost Dark Souls-like. There is also custom difficulty settings, which is always welcome. This game also has a nice perk system. This game brings a bunch of awesome features from other games into me. Criticus, oh boy, things aren't fully implemented. There is a daimyo system and they have only recently implemented 15th century samurai armor, as well as respective weapons, which is comical that anyone played this before. This update, this would have been more accurately Pleasant Kingdom, that King Sengoku Dynasty, prior to this release. Furthermore, there is no currently implemented flyover mechanics. You are literally just roaming around everywhere by yourself, with no army or force to speak of. Choosing champs of sometimes 20 combat bands, you can nowhere close to being a daimyo, let alone some sort of Sengoku character. Quest and the world kind of meh. Interesting with NPCs is especially reading walls of text. You aren't particularly completed to be immersed in the open world in comparison to something like Kingdom Come Deliverance. This is almost amateurish in world building. This feels lackluster in comparison, but still recommended this game because it is so difficult to design and implement, and hope they improve. The way they implemented security as well, it's meh. You can give them weapons, but they essentially don't do much and stand around looking busy. They also keep their refugee clothes while using high-end weapons. While having high-end armor just sitting in storage, you don't like them with the samurai army Sengoku Japan as much as you are heavily armored babysitter. Performances is also incredibly surprising in a bad way. This game chugs along and drops frames for a pretty minimal benefit to cost. This game also has no much marketing material that I had wished they spent those man hours on game development. The promotional video talks about supporting Sengoku Dynasty long after release. Arguably, this is not a finished game. Other studios like Teller would have someone dropped the ball by releasing a bare bones game, a mistake that has costed them their reputation, and one I hope the studio doesn't replace great. Food gets cooked if you assign a cook to a fireplace in any house. One thing that really works: food and grass spoils too fast. I drown in rooted stuff. I know it's needed for fertilizer later on, but even then it is just a mess. Straw doesn't spoil, but when I leave the end rack when the season charges, it is simply gone. Oh, and I almost forget the fisher does catch fishes, and the net maker does his job too, but the fishes aren't many, just a very few. It is very accessible after all, and they are just getting an update done for farming. Might be helpful because the game starts getting really exhausting for me. Don't get me wrong, I love the game, it is just really needed to fix some issues. I do believe the game is on a very good way to get nice and work better, but for now it is just partly a mess, or let's say just not working well enough. You go to God live with that if you want to play it. I had to fun while playing it for more than 60 hours, but meanwhile it is exhausting to do all work almost all alone while villagers mostly hang out and naturally enjoying the services I do. Gaming should not get work. Conclusion: honestly, an okay title if it improves, a lot of great things and core features available, an offline available single player experience. However, it really needs to be improved on.